The gentlemen who are with me are here of their own free will. We did not actually, just grab black males and say, come on, we need diversity here at the NRA annual meeting. The mass media is convinced that there are no Kenn Blanchards here, that there are no Rick Ectors here. They are convinced that the NRA annual meeting is comprised entirely 100% of white males over the age of 75. And by the way, not that I have anything against white males over the age of 75, but you know what? You look around this NRA annual meeting, and what you find is an incredible cross-section of the United States of America that the mass media is unwilling to admit exists. Thank you both for coming on this program.
Hey, man, first and foremost, thank you for once again having me. It's always a pleasure, one, to always be at the convention, and two, to be on the show.
Dude, you know I love you, Rick.
Hey, man, love you back.
I told you are the coolest man in Detroit.
And you know what? Here's what's really cool.
But it's only because Kenn Blanchard doesn't live there.
I'm flanked by my mentor, Kenn Blanchard. I mean, this is the guy who I was listening to years and years ago. And I was like, man, this guy is really informed, and he's laying down some serious knowledge. And you know what? I got to meet this guy, and I'm privileged to be on the same set with him today. Pastor Kenn Blanchard. Thanks, man.
And Reverend, it is so good to see you again, sir. I love getting a chance to hang out with you and talk with you. You are such an amazing man and inspiration to everybody who I think knows you.
Man, it's just nice to be with 100,000 of my closest friends.
Isn't this awesome?
I know, man. It's cool, Doc. It's really cool.
That's why I say, this really, truly is the world's biggest family reunion.
Yeah.
Because we are a family here, And I was walking outside as I was coming back over this afternoon, and I just overheard a woman, and it was just a fragment of a conversation, and she said, I heard the middle. She said, but it's a big organization, and there are lots of people, and so we're not always going to agree on everything, but it's okay because we agree on the important stuff. And man, that's just the distillation of this. We could probably have 100 different opinions if we ask 100 different people. What's your favorite rifle? Right. What's your favorite handgun?
Yes.
What do you think of all different kinds of things? What's your favorite ammo?
Right.
When it comes to cultural and social issues, you're going to find a huge variety of opinions here. But when it comes to protecting our rights, is where we all come together and we all stand as one.
Yeah,
this is America right here. This is America in a microcosm. You can see it. You can feel it. You can be breast to breast with somebody who understands what freedom feels like. This is the place right here.
I got to ask you, Ken, because you live in Maryland.
Yes.
Where your governor has apparently lost his mind.
Yeah, I know. And forgot who put him in the office.
You have, I'm not kidding here, in Maryland, you have a governor who is passing and signing such restrictive gun control laws that companies are not going to be able to operate in the state. FFLs are not going to be able to operate in the state because if a paperwork violation occurs, they're going to go to prison. Where, by the way, they will become the property of the Black Guerrilla family, the prison gang that has just been revealed to be running the Baltimore City Jail.
That was scary, Doc.
You have 25 people who have been under investigation, I believe, jail guards.
Yeah.
You've got a prison gang running the prison, and yet Governor O'Malley thinks that the big issue in Maryland right now in terms of public safety is going after the law-abiding gun owners.
It's like a movie, isn't it? Not even real life. You can't even think that could really happen in real life, but it's happening right in our state.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's like Bizarro state. So what do you do when your rights are under assault, when you've got a governor who seems more interested in persecuting and prosecuting the law-abiding than actually going after the people who are already behind bars who are breaking the law?
What we're doing is just making grassroots that much better. We're actually working that thing. There's so many people who just woke up and said, I didn't know it was this bad in Maryland. I didn't know our politicians were like that. I'm saying, yes, it's always been this way. And bad things happen when good people do nothing. Time to get off your butt and do something. And that's what we're doing now.
And Rick, in Michigan, we were talking about this off the air. Michigan's a shall-issue state.
Yes, we shall issue.
You got some hinky laws that I'm not quite familiar with, having grown up in Oklahoma and living in Virginia. There's some weird stuff with like pistol registration and stuff like that. I'm not real clear on.
We're one of the few handful of states that still require handgun registrations. It's been something that's been on the books going back to 1927. If you want the history lesson in the Ossian Sweet story, we can talk about it.
Was this another one of those racist gun control laws?
Yeah, basically, long story short, there was this physician, doctor. He moved into a mixed neighborhood. He produced his firearms. He got into a gunfight. He defended his home, but they charged him with murder. But he was exonerated in 1925 by an all-white jury. But in the aftermath of the case, the Michigan legislature enacted the 1927 Michigan Firearms Act, which created the county gun boards, created discretionary licenses.
Just to ensure that the right type of people.
The right type of people cannot get guns. So, so we've had this law on the books, and it's time for it to go.
And just remember, when we hear Mayor Bloomberg say that, things like shall issue right to carry laws would be horrible, and we hear, about the need for these discretionary type of laws, just remember that this is where this started. And, I find it just as offensive. Who would the right type of person be today when you leave it up to the hands of and the minds and the hearts of others? You know who the right person is?
Well, you know what? In the cities in which black people are concentrated, that's where you find the most stringent gun control. It's still a holdover from years ago. Listen.
When I met my wife, she was living in Camden, New Jersey. All right, as a single mom of 2 kids, and let me tell you, there's no way to legally get a gun and become a legal gun owner in Canada. You're going to be jumping through so many hoops, people are going to give up, and yet it's the damnedest thing. These criminals have no trouble whatsoever accessing firearms.
No, they don't. And I didn't have look at our sister city, Chicago, man. They can't legally carry a gun there, and now they're dragging their feet where they have to come up with some type of concealed carry scheme to allow people to carry guns, and look like they're taking it down to the wire, or they go to what I hear is constitutional carry. So
it's gonna be fascinating. It's like it's like a game of constitutional chicken right now between the anti-gunners in Chicago and the courts and the criminal justice and the legislature and Bloomberg.
From wherever he's at, he's just throwing money in the wrong places. He doesn't belong in Chicago. He's making work there. It's unreal.
King Mike of Bloombergia, as I refer to him. Hey, listen, Ken and Rick, we got to take a break, unfortunately.
Hey, before we go, man, here's another present for you. Last time was a T-shirt. This time it's my token challenge coin.
I love it.
This is how I raise money to train women back home in Detroit how to defend themselves. So.
This is fantastic. Listen, man, you keep up the great work. Keep fighting.
Yes, sir.
And we got to have you back on because we got to talk about Detroit. I've never even been to Detroit, but I have a soft spot for the people of Detroit because I think the mass media doesn't want to cover what's going on there. They don't want to talk about the failures that they've helped perpetuate with their ideology. But you know what? There are still a lot of people, a lot of good people living in that bad city, and they can fix it. They can change it.
Hey, man, come on. We'll do it on location. We'll do the Cam and Company show on location, on the road in Detroit. Let's go.
All right. Ken, will you come with us?
Absolutely.
All right, man.
I got your back, man.
All right, Rick.
All right,
thank you so much. Ken, always a pleasure. Reverend Kenn Blanchard.